Okay, cool. You guys ready?
Yeah.
More contagious than Corona, more inviting than the Queen. MCL, we hope the show goes well. And please, don't be cocky. Yeah.
Very good evening and welcome to MTL, the best show on the internet. The reason you can hear the intro again is because it's playing through our TV in the house here. It's a complete disaster, as most of our intros are. Every single week we have some form of technical disaster that occurs. But you know what? We still bring you high quality entertainment. And in actual fact, that's all we want to do. We want to be in your heart and in your living room, and that's why you tune in every single week. If you don't know that we're on, then you should hit the live notification button, because then you'll know that when we come live, you'll be notified immediately, and then our job will be made that much easier. We are, just to let you know, having a whole bunch of new shows on our platform. We're doing a cooking show quite soon, which is going to be amazing, with Chef Ken. It's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be fully interactive, so stay tuned for that. We also have the potential of a DJ show coming up in partnership with the Global Underground, but we're still negotiating said facts. And then, of course, we've got other little things lined up, including a gaming show, which is going to be very, very fun. We're going to live stream us gaming, and we're going to be very cool prizes. So if you do subscribe and you are a subscribing member and you do comment in the comment box, which is essential, we're going to be giving away some seriously cool prizes in the future. So that is, if that is an incentive, then I don't know what is. Tonight on my show, I have two very, very wonderful individuals. One is sexy, the other is a female.
Right off the bat.
I'm so glad I'm sexy.
Oh, man. I'm just kidding. But seriously. Well, I should say one is sexy and the other one is a sexy female. But I can't say that because I've known her for long, and she's kind of young, and I might go to jail. But they are two talented artists nonetheless. One of them is Nick Jordaan from Rubber Duck. And the other one is Phil Higgins from... Where are you from, Phil?
I was born in George.
You were born in George?
Anything.
That's fantastic.
No.
Welcome to the show, guys.
Born in George.
Hey, there's a song in that. Where were you born in Jorge?
Yeah, it's Phil Higgins from Phil Higgins.
From
I guess.
George, because you're brand new on the scene, aren't you? You're relatively new.
Yes, I am. I'd say it's been a few years, getting into it, but really starting out now.
You're really starting out now.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had the privilege of seeing you sort of grow from a young seedling.
Yeah.
We've had a relationship with regards to the stage work community. Is it fair to say that that's kind of where your nurturing began? Did they sort of hone you and sculpt you? And
Like, no doubt about it.
No doubt about
that's
it.
literally, I decided to homeschool because of the school, actually.
Oh,
And
really?
Yeah, that's where I started songwriting for the first time.
Yeah.
Before that was never a thing that I did.
And that was with Matt Marinas, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So literally Gemma, the headmistress of the
Gemma
school,
Donnelly,
and
yeah.
Matt, they basically are my mentors, really. And yeah, through there, I had training in singing, dancing, all of those things. So yeah, that's where it started.
Aren't they just the best human beings on planet
They
Earth?
really are.
They really, really are.
Like, I don't know where I'd be without them, to be honest.
Yeah, even me. I must be honest with you. Just in terms of, like, if there was anybody that I would like to entrust my child to, from a mentorship perspective,
Not
would
you,
certainly be
right?
those two. No, definitely not me, bro. Not me, Nick. Not at all. But actually, I'm actually harmless, man. I'm harmless. I'd be a great mentor. So, yeah, but I've been drinking. That's the only reason I'm not a good mentor. But did that come out the TV? That my producer said. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, so and Nick, ain't nobody got time for that. That kind of broke you onto the scene. Am I right?
It did. And we don't have time for that song anymore. Yeah. We played that for years. I mean, from the start, like when Rubber Duck started, we wrote a bit of the song. We kind of adapted a song from Sweet Brown's parody, Ain't Nobody Got Time for That.
Yes.
And we did a social commentary thing with what was happening at the time when Zuma was still in power.
Yeah.
And it exploded. It did exceptionally well, and then we realized we had to write a second song. And we did that, and then suddenly we were thrown into the music industry, and now we're in Corona, and we're kind of out of the music industry.
Oh, aren't we all, dude?
Yeah,
It's just weird. But that's kind of why we started this platform.
Exactly,
I think
yeah.
we're trying to incentivize people to not forget. Remind being top of mind, but also
Yeah.
trying to give musicians an opportunity to not
Sure.
forget, because you can.
Sure.
I mean, you play. You guys played the other night. You did the live stream.
Yeah, we did the live stream the other night.
How was it to play with the band again? Did
That was
feel good?
amazing. Just to rehearse with the guys again
Yeah.
was great. And it was so cool to have all the guys back together doing what we love. And I mean, we just started going back to studio again because we want to carry on doing what we love and carry on getting out stuff. Because, at the end of the day, music lives on forever.
Yes.
Except for the song "Ain't Nobody Got Time for That." Like we totally took that out of our set. We just want to play that again.
But it was a cool song though, because it was
was.
clever. It was clever
Yeah.
because we were all thinking it.
yeah.
But you guys went and pushed play.
Yeah, I think the problem was it established us in the beginning as almost like a parody band, and we never wanted to be a parody band. And for a long time, we had that label,
I hear you.
and we are now look. Our name doesn't bloody help us at all either. Rubber Duck. I mean, come on.
No, but let's talk about that,
Yeah.
because it's like if there was ever a well-branded band, you guys have nailed it.
Thanks.
Merch.
Yeah.
Every time I see you, you've got a cap on.
Yeah.
You're wearing rubber duck shoes, which
Yeah.
I want a pair of
You want
so
to play
badly.
these? Yeah, they're cool,
Dude,
man.
they are the coolest things ever. And I
Thank
saw, what's his name? He had pink laces.
Yeah, Brendan.
Brendan,
He was
that's
wearing
right.
pink
Yeah.
ones.
Yes, he was
Yeah.
wearing the pink ones. And I was just like, wow, you guys, you nail it from a brand perspective.
Thanks.
And I think ultimately that's what people want. You want to
Yeah.
be in people's faces, but in a cool way.
Yeah, I think our brand, when we launched Rubber Duck, I have a background in advertising and marketing. I studied
do
that,
you?
and I
Okay.
think what we decided to do as a band was when we created merch, we never wanted people to wear our brand like they felt like a groupie at any point. We wanted them to wear the brand as an accessory, so they could go out and feel great wearing the product that we gave them. Well,
Because there's
we made for them.
nothing worse on planet Earth than poo merch.
Yeah,
Merch that doesn't fit you lacquer.
yeah.
That T-shirt that makes that one size fits no one, you know? And then a hat that you wouldn't actually give to your enemy. You're like,
Yeah.
bro, I'm going to make this guy with
Yeah.
this hat. Check out what a dick he's going to look like.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, is like, you guys nailed it from a merch perspective. I think from anybody, from a young artist coming on board, like I think merch is definitely an extension of your band, because even when you're not playing, people are aware of you. And I think the Ducks have done that really, really well.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
No, well,
yeah.
that's the truth.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. I'll tell you what no one's got time for is your hotness. But there is one person that's got time for that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Uh-oh.
There's a lady that I know, okay? She's gonna hate me.
Maybe
so
I know
much.
her too already. You know? It's- yeah.
Lee.
Lee.
He
she's a
actually
friend
just
of mine.
commented.
Did she just comment? Lee loves you so much. Please shout out to Lee. Because you look like her husband, but you're just a better version
Do
of
we
him.
get a surname though?
Yeah, Lee Hirsch. Yeah.
Lee Hirsch. I hope I don't hurt your heart. Eh?
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
you have to dab after a statement
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that, bro.
I don't know if that counts as a dad joke though.
It's not really a
Once,
dad joke.
I could be a dad.
Yeah, I am. And
I actually
that-
could really be a dad.
You
I
could
really
be.
could be a dad, yes.
So how? Yeah, I mean,
I just don't know.
you don't know.
I don't know.
That's exciting.
Lockdown's been tiring.
You got a good pull-out
joking.
game there, I'm sure. So, oh wow, that's we're supposed to be talking music here. Sorry about that. So Lee loves you very much, and I'm sure she's going to say that on the interwebs. But just say something nice to Lee. I pulled this off for you, Lee. Just don't forget.
Like Lee, I don't know if you know our song Feet, and Feet was actually written for you. And then the other guys in the band were like, no, we got to change it to someone else's name. And then I went for one of my exes. That's cool. Haley.
Boom. So Lee and Haley. I mean, they sound the same.
So,
Hey
something
Lee,
like that.
they both got Lees in it.
Yeah.
But you just went, hey Lee.
Haley.
They're
Exactly.
clever.
Haley was
That's-
actually
that's-
See what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's how that.
Lee, see what I do for you. Don't say I've never given you anything. Where's my schlumphy, woman? Okay, cool. So, as a young songwriter, you did the Born to Perform show last year. Was it last year? The one where you did your
Yes,
kind of
last
pop.
year was
The one at Monty.
Monty Casino.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the one at Monty, the big one. The big
yeah,
one.
the fabulous one.
So, for those of you people who haven't seen Born to Perform, it is an initiative where they get a platform which is run by Stageworks. Okay, and what they do is they get young professionals who are either coming into the industry or just learning about it, and they blend it with industry professionals, and they give them all an open playing field and put on one hell of a show. And you get to sit there and just be amazed. And I tell you what, did you go to the Born to Perform?
I never did.
You
so
did.
I
Oh,
haven't-
you have to,
haven't.
dude. I'm going to crack you an invite from the next one.
Cool.
Because if nothing else, it will inspire you and remind you why you got into this industry in the first place. Because there is no business like show business. That's for sure. At the moment, there's just no business. Exactly.
There's no show in this business.
None, bro. But from a perspective of you, I remember you released your first single then on that night. Yeah, you kind of did choreography and all sorts of things. How nervous were you?
How nervous.
Yeah.
So,
do you get nervous? Are you that kind of girl?
Yeah, I definitely. What kind of girl? A nervous kind of girl?
No, it's just like.
Yeah, no, I definitely get nervous. Like, especially breathing wise. I guess you kind of stop breathing when you get nervous, and you kind of need that for singing. So I guess that's
and
an
living
issue.
in general.
And living in general.
Yeah,
no,
9 out of 10 doctors recommend it.
Yeah, thank you. What about the other one?
Don't go to that doctor.
But yeah, that platform was a big reason I was able to release the single, I'm Running Away, which was my debut single, and the musicians that I had on that track.
I remember the whole video.
Amazing.
Yeah,
it was really, I was so privileged to have that. So yeah, it's very nerve-wracking, but you know what, it's like I said, I love musical theatre, I love performing in general. So just to share a stage with, like you said, industry professionals, also just the fact that it's Monte Casino in a sense, you're kind of like
the theatre's a big one. The theatre's a big one.
Yeah, no, it was amazing.
Yeah, man. I mean, okay, first love. What would you say? Like the performing arts from the musical theatre perspective, or singer-songwriter? What are you leaning more towards now as an artist?
It's definitely like been a constant kind of tug of war situation, but I guess the more that I've been writing and the more that I've experienced and kind of developed my skills as a songwriter, a musician, there's definitely something very powerful and special about creating your own content.
Yeah.
So I would say that's probably where my heart lies at the moment. But
And
there's always a space for some jazz hands.
Yeah,
somewhere,
man. Spirit fingers. Never let the spirit fingers die. You work a lot with Chart van der Walt, or have done.
Yes,
well.
I love Chart.
Yeah, I love Chart too. Yeah, or Chad.
I call him Charantol.
Charantal, like a guinea fowl.
Yes, lovely.
He is. Gobble, gobble, gobble. So he's in my opinion, one of the most talented, I want to hesitate to say up-and-coming producers. He is relatively up-and-coming in terms of the fact that he's not the guy that everyone goes to yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I promise you, in 2-3 years' time, he's going to be a formidable force. He's one of the best producers I've ever in my life come into contact with.
Yeah, I'm glad I could kind of, somehow grab hold of him before all of that, probably, because...
Yeah, but I'm sure he learned a lot of things producing artists like yourself and a lot of the kids from stage work and being involved. And the nice thing is he's quite young as well.
Yeah.
But for his skill level for his age is immense. He's immense.
Yeah, no, he lives it, really.
Yeah, he does.
He'd constantly be like, oh, Phil, I've been listening to this and, this is my inspiration and we need to try this and, all of that. So he's constantly wanting to move forward as well. But also lets you do what you want to do in a sense. So that's really special.
Fantastic. So, Nick, you guys... You've got your own recording studios. You do?
Yeah, we've been very fortunate. I mean, when we started the band, our guitarist, Brendan Campbell,
yes.
he's been producing...
Another monster producer.
Another monster producer, yeah. I mean, he produced Daniel Barron's first album that did exceptionally well, and we kind of poached him from Daniel at that time in terms of he joined Rubber Duck as one of the members of Rubber Duck.
Also, unnecessarily good-looking guy as well.
Unnecessarily
good looking.
Those guys who have natural biceps.
Just a hot band all in general, yeah.
And we're very fortunate. We all brought our different skills to the table. I mean, he was a great producer. He still is a great producer. Sorry, songwriting. I do a lot of the songwriting. And then like Emil's just great at what he does in terms of management and everything that he does. So we just had this team that worked together. And also, I mean, I have a bit of a marketing background, so we just put this team together and we were able to produce and write all the time out of a studio, which is not easy if you don't have one.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we're fortunate as well. Here at Marshall, we've got a studio, but also I've recorded a lot of my stuff with my guitarist, Ray Nazili, at Figure of Eight, another studio that's just... I mean, you've been there. If you haven't been there, it's eye candy. It's for a muso, it's just the most inspiring place just to be in, and he's got gear for days. But having your own studio is one thing, right? Okay, but like, how easy was it to start the producing process? Because you kind of learning about each other as well. and then still trying to produce an album at the same time.
It's so crazy. Like in the beginning when we started in a bedroom. So we produced from a bedroom, and you can actually hear the difference as the years have gone on, as we've moved through different studios, and then eventually we could afford to rent a specific studio, and then now we're working out of Muse Studios with Hugo Ludik, who's a great Afrikaans producer.
Yeah.
And I think that what really helps in terms of having a studio is writing on different instruments.
Yeah.
And I think that really changes the ball game.
And the
a hell
luxury
a
of
lot.
time as
The
well.
luxury of time. Because sometimes the luxury of time can actually
Makes you sit on the product a bit longer.
sit on way too long.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah,
I hear
because also, so you always write a new song the next week that you think's better than the one you
that's
started
the
producing.
biggest problem, dude.
Yeah.
My story of my life.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to come back to that because I really
Yeah.
want to come back to that. But you, fresh out of studio, do you want to do a song for us?
I'd love to.
I'd love you to do a song for us. I think that's going to be very, very cool. So, Phil, the stage is yours while you walk through and
Thank
go and get
you.
your guitar and get ready. I'm going to do a little bit of a promotional thing. Very, very big thank you. Must go to the Sundowner pub who fed us this evening. How good was that, Nick?
It was great.
It was great, and we were hungry. Hey?
Oof, we were hungry, man.
Proper
hungry.
So you can get a pub meal in your house, delivered by the Sundowner pub. They also are open for trading now, and you can have a young Coke Light and maybe something stronger. But we won't talk about that. But go down and support them. They
Bavaria
really are.
beers.
Yes, a little Bavaria. Oh, the peach
Nothing like a
Bavaria.
Beck's.
Nothing like a Beck's. Castle Zero, my hero. Okay, yeah, man. So the nice thing about it, you can go. So thanks again for having us fed on the show this evening. You guys are stars. You go to the pub. They need help. They need support. All of our brands that are on this channel need your assistance. Take it away, Phil.
Started in the wrong key, sorry. Smile for me again. You know I love to see you smile. Tell me once again you haven't felt this good in a while. A hallway conversation with a boy who used to be my home. Why did I say goodbye? I still don't know why, and I guess that I'll never know. I get too excited, and baby I try to hide it, but I know that we're in the past and it didn't last. But it's nice to hear your voice out loud. I guess I'll say hi, then I'll say goodbye. Everybody's spinning and I'm dizzy, alright. I try to get it right, but why does your smile seem so extra bright on this Friday night? Everybody's spinning and I'm dizzy tonight. I try to get it right, but everybody knows I wish you were mine. Birds as an alarm clock with no messages on my phone. Breakfast at a table, your oats just never felt so alone. Then I spot you through the curtain, and I think of some things that I'll say. I run up to you when I count to 2, 'cause by 3 I've given up anyway. I guess I'll say hi, and I'll say goodbye. Everybody's spinning and I'm dizzy tonight. I try to get it right, but why does your smile seem so extra bright on this Friday night? Everybody's spinning and I'm dizzy tonight. I try to get it right, but everybody knows that I try to run to you, but you run away from me. And I really smile at you, but you hardly smile at me. And I try my best to prove that we were meant to be. And you got a hold on me, a hold on me, a hold on me, a hold on me. smile seems so extra bright on this Friday night. Everybody's spinning and I'm dizzy tonight. I try to get it right, but everybody knows it could just be me. But I think that possibly you could have been the one for me. You know that it could just be me, but I think that possibly you could have been the one for me.
And that was Phil Higgins right here on MTL, the best music channel thing on the interwebs, voted by myself, because it's just awesome. We basically created it for us. We're so happy to be here, and we're so happy that you are here, and we love being in your living room. We love what you've done with the place. If you haven't already, please hit the share button, subscribe, the doorbell, that little bell, hit it so you know when we come on live. And there's also a little basket code which allows you to keep the channel afloat. The lights don't stay on by themselves, so your help and your help in the past has been greatly appreciated, so please do that. Please welcome back Phil. Well done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Lovely, lovely, lovely.
How many shows have you done?
Thanks.
How many shows have you done?
Oh my. What kind of show? Well,
How many quote unquote professional shows?
professional shows. Okay, so this is going to be a combination again with the musical theatre thing,
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah.
So the first show I ever did was a musical theatre show called Gospel Spectacular, and I was in a choir. And
Okay.
yeah, that was fun. So it's been, I would say, in my young career, professional gigs, I would only say maybe 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you really are a baby then.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm turning 21,
You're
but I
turning
am a
21.
baby.
Oh,
Yes.
but that's great. I mean, an industry baby. You know, see what we do, people. We have people from all skill levels, and you do have a certain set of skills. It's wonderful. You've got a lack of tone. I love the tone. As a young songwriter, you are working it. You're right up there. Do you write alone? Do you have people that write with you?
So I generally have written most of my things, like lyrically,
Yeah.
melodically, all of that. It's been very much just me. But with charts, often when we are busy with production or brainstorming some things, he would add a lot that really changes the song.
Yeah.
But the beginning process has always been just me. Actually, except for KO, which was my second single. That song was charts, literally going, "Hey Phil, I can see you're feeling down today. What's up?" And I was like, "I don't know." And he was like, "Let's write a song." And then within like 40 minutes, that was my second single. That just happened.
I love those. I love the ones
It
that
was amazing.
come out with like minimum effort, maximum efficiency or
Yeah.
songs. Those are the best. So I got to ask, you've got there's a bit of a percussive nature to a lot of the things that you sing. You come across almost like there's a rapping element. There's this kind of ragga feel to it. Are you
Ragga?
Yeah, you know ragga. Let's
I thought like a baby rugby. Ragga.
No, man. No, they're like kind of like reggae, ragga, rap. There's a rap element to a percussive element to your singing.
Yes, I think maybe I'm so glad you've used the word percussive, because I've never considered myself a rapper. I don't know. I like literally also just like my personality and everything. And I guess, you can't stereotype what rappers are and all of that, but I don't think I'm a rapper, if that makes sense.
They're talking musicians.
Yes.
Do you think Phil is a rapper? Let us know in the
Let me
comments.
know.
'Cause
What do
we
you
are
think?
sure right now.
Is she a rapper?
But yeah, there's definitely, I think, I grew up listening, not that I don't know if this is actually going to answer the question, but there's definitely how I write is very, I guess, soulful in a sense.
Yeah.
That comes out. And I think with that, it's just the music that I've been listening to. So a lot
What
of
do you
it,
listen to?
a wide variety, but
Rubber Duck, yeah, obviously. Obviously.
but there's definitely like R&B
Yeah.
influence. Jazz was something I grew up with. Then it kind of went more to alternative, indie. So I think there's just, I think it's something that definitely came naturally.
Okay, so from R&B, who's the artist that you like from R&B?
Okay. So like the
Just
voices.
give me one. You can give me one.
Like old school, new.
No, you
school.
mentioned R&B, so give me a voice.
I
there.
love Luther Vandross's voice.
Yeah, great.
Oh,
Um,
the
love
old
him.
school R&B.
Yeah.
Yes, like so,
Proper
so there's the
R&B.
old school and then the the newer that I also.
Dance to My Father,
so
good
there's,
song.
Oh,
there's
yeah.
like yeah. There's like new artists that are like I don't know, female that have that soulful side to them, and I guess are rapping in a sense. I think because I listen to that a lot of it the past few years, I think it's kind of just come through in the music.
And your indie side, who's your indie? Who's your indie person?
You know what? I get confused when I say indie because, to be honest, I don't know.
It is a broad. It's a very broad.
Um,
It is a very broad. But are you like a? I mean, like, I'm just trying to get it because there is a very unique aspect to the way you write. I know because I've seen you perform many, many times before.
It's like, what's that girl's name? Bailey Ray? Corey
Yeah.
Bailey Ray?
Listen.
Is that right?
Check.
Corinne Bailey.
I'm
Is that her
a
name?
pitch myself
Yeah,
here to
Corinne
get
Bailey Ray.
Corinne,
Yeah.
Corinne Bailey
Corinne?
Ray.
But
Yeah.
I heard
Put your
that kind of
records
sound
on.
what I heard, like
Yeah.
from in a
So
sound.
that's amazing that you said that because that's literally one of the songs that I covered as a 12-year-old girl. It's on YouTube.
Go check that
Don't
out
go
on
look for it,
YouTube.
but also
check
do.
it out.
It's really
Okay.
cute. And that style and that kind of it's like just a very laid back kind of element to it. I love.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, was there a rap section in the song that you did? Or one of your songs? Did you do like a? You know what I remember?
Oh,
you know
Running Away.
Yes, was it?
Yes.
Yes, because it reminds me so much of what's her name? Banana.
Gwen Stefani.
Oh, Gwen
Gwen
Stefani.
Stefani.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Gwen Stefani in that, and I know because that was kind of my era growing up. That Gwen
No,
Stefani.
Yeah.
no doubt.
That no doubt
Whoa,
vibe.
what a band, no
Yes,
doubt.
And there's a lot of no doubt in there. And you wouldn't have done it intentionally. I don't think so. There's
I
certainly.
also don't because I listened to obviously like a few of her songs growing up, but not as.
there's an element there, and I like that because there's no one really. Because I would classify you as sort of like indie singer songwriter, right?
Yeah.
That's
kind
what
of
I'm thinking, but
Pop alternative,
Yeah,
pop alternative,
yeah.
Pop alternative.
pop alternative. I just love how everyone's just like, just add alternative to the
Yeah,
end.
exactly.
Of it.
That's why I'm like,
Yeah, no, we heavy metal alternative.
Yeah,
Like, what?
I really just don't know what pop is these days. Like
Dude.
pop has just changed.
there's
pop
so
is
many
like,
layers to it. There's like
Yeah.
bubblegum, but then there's like some really cool pop, and then
So pop
Auto-tune
music.
pop,
so
there's
so
lots
pop,
of
pop music in a nutshell derives from popular music. Was
Yeah, yeah.
music that everybody can relate to and can draw something out. So
There's
they
a lot
can
of music I can't relate to now. eh?
yeah, I know.
Yeah, I must be honest with
That's
you.
called pop.
There's some stuff that I just like. You know when a dog looks a bit confused and it goes.
Yeah.
That kind of like I listen to some music nowadays and I'm just like, am I old?
I think we are here.
Is it?
Okay.
Dude? Do I have to check my ID number to go and check? Yeah.
No, but see, like I'm obviously. I'm not saying I'm obviously a bit younger, but I am younger.
You are obviously a bit
and
younger,
Yeah, well,
yes.
obviously.
No,
And-
that's the truest statement said this
Yeah.
evening.
And even I don't know. I think it's the kind of music that you like really, because a lot of the stuff coming out I don't love.
Or is it the music that's been spoon-fed to you? Like what's become popular right now is things that go viral on TikTok. And for me,
do
what
not
for
like
me,
TikTok.
for me,
I
what,
can't.
for me, what goes viral from the 15-second TikTok becomes a sensational top 40 song.
Yeah.
But you only heard 15 seconds of it.
Yeah.
But every TikTok, 15 seconds counts as one stream. Don't know if you guys know that.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
Get
it counts
your
as a
music
full
on
stream.
TikTok.
You get your music on TikTok. So 15 seconds of your song on TikTok counts as a full stream.
Bro, I'm
Yeah.
uploading every body of work
So
I've
that,
ever
yeah,
done to
so,
TikTok.
so I think what's happening is I get very, I don't know, I think I always had this idea that, remember when you were driving in your car with your parents when you were younger and you asked them to listen to certain music and your parents were like, hell no.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm there. I feel
Even
like
me,
I'm
bro.
I
You and me.
feel like I'm like my parents. Like I listen to stuff that's on radio. I listen to stuff that's coming out that's popular, and I'm like, I just don't get it.
Dude, my kids download the Fortnite album.
Yeah.
And that's just basically MIDI on MIDI with a kick, bro.
Yeah.
So
Auto-tune.
four on the- yeah. And there are no lyrics, it's nothing. It's like bonk, bonk, bonk. And I'm just like, and they make me listen to this. And eventually I'm just like, someone put on 702. Just let
A happy medium.
We had that deal now. We had 702 already.
so okay, cool, man. But like, so Rubber Duck. Are you guys a cover band? Did you start out as a cover band that's now progressing into a band that writes their own music?
Yeah.
Where are you? What would you classify yourself?
That was another. We classify ourselves as 80-20, basically what that is, since the start, we started Rubber Duck. Obviously, when we started Rubber Duck and our first song did extremely well, we didn't have other music. So we started getting gigs and we had to do covers. And then in the beginning, we got a lot of people who thought we were a cover band. Now, we have an 80-20 rule, which means we...
80% covers, 20% originals.
Or vice versa.
Okay.
So how we work it is we say that, you know, a best bit of advice that I ever got was from a lady in Cape Town who was a PR lady for Francois Van Coke and Fokhoff and all them. Excuse, that is a band.
It's the band. Yeah, it's a band.
And she,
Excuse me?
And she said to me one time, the worst thing you can do is stay true to yourself. If you stay true to yourself, you're not going to make money in this industry. And that really resonated with us as Rubber Duck, because we said, okay, cool. We're not going to sell ourselves to corporate where we make most of our money as an original act, because we need to sell a show that there's a lot of people who haven't seen us. So let's give them what they want. So for corporate, we have a rule. We go 80-20. We'll do 80% covers and we'll throw 20% originals in so that they get to know. I know that song from Rubber Duck, vice versa. Other shows?
I think that's a general rule of thumb in general for corporate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we were booked a hell of a lot for corporate. So we were very fortunate to get a lot of that work. And then obviously for shows, we do original shows, we go 80-20. You've got to throw in songs that people know if they've never seen you before.
Because it's the South African thing.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I love it about South Africa or hate it about South Africa. Because I'll tell you why I say that, okay? Is because, for example, there are certain bands in this country that do exceptionally well.
Yeah.
But South Africans have taken their music and almost superimposed it onto the covers set. So it's as good as a cover. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll name them because they are the big ones, the big bands, the Parlotones, the Prime Circles, that She Always Gets What She Wants, Push Me to the Floor.
Yeah.
Those songs, if you had to cover that, people would go bananas.
Yeah,
You know what I
and
mean?
have.
Sure.
And
That-
have. Even some Francois and Coke stuff I cover in certain parts of Rhodopus,
Exactly.
Pretoria, and it's huge.
Exactly.
Like,
Even Aching, Strike the Match, is it? Or Against All Odds?
Safe as Houses.
Yeah,
Against All
Save As
Odds,
Houses.
and-
Even if you cover those things,
Yeah.
there are certain numbers that people think. And South Africans, if they know it and they love it, they're loyal to it.
Yeah, sure.
But if they don't know it,
Yeah.
they won't even give it the time of day if you play it live. If it comes on the radio, they're like, oh yeah, it's on radio, therefore it must be. It's something I can open myself up to.
But then again, your live show is everything. And that is something that we as Rubber Duck, we've really worked hard at, is that we understand that we are not there to show off how good we are. We're there to entertain people watching us.
Yes.
So
and you are one of the busier bands in SA. I know that
Yeah.
because I know.
Yeah,
I just
well,
know.
we're not busy right now.
Well, not now. They haven't been performing illegally.
Yeah, no,
Sometimes they have.
yeah.
They should be arrested.
We've been
No, I'm just
exceptionally
kidding.
fortunate. I think it's just because, listen, we play what the people want to hear,
Yeah.
man. And you shouldn't be sad feeling that way. There's some great covers that most international bands, you go watch a show, you're going to get 2 covers of songs that they love. And it's just always great if people haven't seen you before to give them something that they're familiar
Some
with.
of my favorite sets are cover sets because you can play a lot
Play
more.
along, yeah.
You can play along,
Yeah, it's a different kind of communication or interaction with the crowd in different settings.
Yeah.
And you can enjoy it a lot when other people are singing with you, suggesting certain songs. It becomes a nice family
And
vibe.
the nice thing also with that is that you learn how to navigate a set. So it's like, you can see the energy in a crowd. You can see when it's getting, okay, we got to hit them with something that they know.
Yeah.
And then all of a
for
sudden
sure.
it's, all right, we got you back.
For sure.
I hear
While
you.
we're talking about covers and how busy Rubber Duck is or isn't during lockdown, Nick, weren't you in a Rubber Duck cover band during lockdown?
I was. We made Emil's brother.
Emil's younger
Like,
brother.
we were just going live on Facebook and we were saying, like, the thing is, I never ever wanted to be Rubber Duck by myself because I'm not. Like, I'm not. But we got the songs. So I was like, I'm also like, I play guitar, but I'm not the guitarist, dude. I'm not like.
I hear you, dog.
And
I hear you, dog.
and also Liam, he plays the drums, but he's not a great drummer. And we were like, well, let's put this thing together, and we called it the Chastity Belts, keeping you locked down. That was our Rubber Duck cover band name during lockdown, and we did a few shows. They were really, really fun in the beginning, and then eventually when Facebook had that whole thing start about copyright, we just didn't think it was worth jeopardizing our page, and its
That's
importance.
another thing that I'm getting like pretty frustrated about. Is that you can't even cover your own songs on a platform that I'm going to say it. Facebook, winner.
Yeah. Even though we're using you now.
We're using you now, and it's like your fan page isn't even like your fan page. It's quite frustrating. And if you want to reach those people on the fan page, you have to boost post, and you have to pay just to reach people that join you.
I was told, how crazy is this? I was told recently by a big social media marketer that you should be putting money behind every single post you put out there, even if it's $50. Because if you're not paying, Facebook's not showing your audience your stuff. And that's quite scary. The fact that you have you over the years accumulated a volume of people who are wanting to follow your content, but it's getting limited to what Facebook allows them to see. Yeah, I mean, where's the value?
It's a problem, man.
Yeah, the fact that now we've got to ask people to hit the live notifications just to be able to see when we're live. There's a lot of people that don't know about that. They're waiting to.
You know what's even worse is in your copy, Facebook have these algorithms and these spiders, whatever, that crawl your information that you're putting out there. If you're using share bait, it's called share bait. So if you're saying in your copy, share this post, please.
Oh, right.
Like this post. Comment to win this. Win.
Yeah.
Immediately your reach just drops completely.
Oh,
Really?
Because they don't want share baits anymore.
Wow.
So things are changing drastically, and that's why I think it's great to see that in some way, because I think the greedier they get, the more we get, more innovative we get, and the more old school we go.
But it's going to get to a point where people are going to start abandoning platforms like that.
Well,
it is.
I was going to say, like, if you compare to if I post something on Instagram, I mean, getting likes on Facebook, sometimes you get like 3 in how many hours, and you're just like, where are people? You know, like, especially if you have a certain following and you're getting, if you compare the likes to it on Instagram, it's a lot more. So that makes sense.
I love that advertising, when you go on Facebook advertising, and it's like you get to choose who you want to share the content to, and it's like people you don't know, people who like your page, or people who like the page and their friends, and you're kind of like, but these people like my page, surely they should see my content. But it's
And then the more specific you get, the more they charge you to get the reach out.
Anyway, we've got to do what we can do.
Yeah, for sure.
You know
what's happened? One of the cameras.
So they can see the guests, they can see me, but Graham, you're invisible right now.
Am I invisible?
You're a little cat on the screen right
That's
now.
Fine. That's fine. I'm not really wanting to wants to see me anymore. Been that way since 2004, 5.
Yeah.
So should I just let me just sit on the side here for the interim.
Squeeze you in there real quick.
My pack's gone. Everything's broken. Should we cut to a commercial break? Yeah, because sorry, Nick. How are you?
Good.
So I think something that's certainly hard is now, especially as a young artist as well, to market yourself, and then as an established artist to sustain yourself.
Yeah,
that's an incredibly difficult thing to do now, and now you're having to almost pay to keep your brand alive. So in actual fact, it becomes even harder to remain relevant, because you don't get the gigs unless you're on top of mind.
Yeah.
But to stay top of mind, you need the gigs to get the money to pay. Where do we start?
And then there's radio. That's another ball game.
That's a whole other argument. Yeah, radio, in my opinion, in this country, in many ways, killed the live music scene.
Yeah,
I do. I think a lot of it, because of playlisting managers and committees that took it upon themselves to throttle the music that was being played on the station, and everybody moving in the same direction with no diversity whatsoever, bar maybe 1 or 2 radio stations that kind of stayed true to themselves. And ironically, who are there, and ironically, those radio stations
are still the most successful.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And
the other radio stations that are trying to change back.
But they can't, because they have no identity. They have no sense of.
Listen, the same things happen with a lot of music festivals, in the country too. So. Radio is another ball game in itself. And what I've learned is, again, the biggest thing you can actually do in music is just network. And network with everyone you see, everyone you know, be nice to everyone you meet. We have a radio station who, for the last 2-3 years, didn't doesn't play Rubber Duck music purely because the playlist manager doesn't like one of us in the band. We don't know who it is, and we've been told, but that this is the case. And you're kind of going, also when you got a playlist manager, there's one person dictating what gets played for a majority of people listening.
Right?
How
And they
does that
say
make
it's not part of the station's identity, but you make it part of the station's identity because people, they don't...
Create their own identity.
Exactly. And we
Are we South African?
yeah, and we also we get driven to like something. If you play something 10 times to somebody, chances are, if it's a good song, that person will love it.
My favorite thing is testing a song at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
That for me is still like mind blows me. It's like, okay, so you get a song where we're going to test it at 10 o'clock at night. Who the hell is listening to the radio at 10 o'clock at night? How do you get a real...
No one that cares about you.
No one
Let
that
me just
cares
say
about
that.
you.
Like,
know? So,
right,
and who's interacting with the radio station at 10 o'clock at night?
Right.
How do you... Why don't
There
you
are a
just
couple
give
of
it...
night owls.
Why don't you give it a spin? Why don't you give it a morning spin somewhere? And even if you do and people respond, we've had that before with a specific station. I'm not going to say their name. We had the most insane response we've ever had on radio, where was meant to be a 15-minute interview turned into a full hour interview because they kept with our song called Feet. It was huge. And when we dropped the song, didn't get any playlisting. And you're kind of going like, we don't understand it.
No, it's mental.
But
man.
But you know what? Like for me, sorry if I may, with the whole, getting radio play and all of that, obviously that's very kind of fundamental in a sense, and it helps out. But many of the artists that I listen to, like I never listen to radio. And all of my friends as well.
You are Spotify streaming. You are that generation.
You got
now,
the
man.
aux cable Bluetooth going on, and you just want to be
I hear
listening
you.
to that.
I'll tell you what. Yes.
I guess in South Africa, it's just, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
But you have to be on radio.
Yeah, I know.
It's one of those things now that's become, especially the market that we're in. It's if you're not relevant on radio, you don't get the corporates. And unfortunately, where we are in making money in the English market in South Africa, is corporates where the money's made.
Yeah.
And that's the scariest thing. There's no other country in the world where the artist
Corporates.
makes money off corporate,
Yeah.
but every other country has a live music scene,
Correct.
which has completely died in South Africa.
We are going to talk about
Completely.
that. We have to talk about that. We have to finish that. But also, because of the technical thing, can you go and sing for us? Because
Yes.
we got that camera set up.
I can.
And
That
it's
camera is
really
set up,
loud.
and that's
I'm going to do a song that's pretty close to my heart. It's pretty South African. I'll tell you quickly about it so you quickly get to understand it.
Let's do it.
It's basically, when you see a couple walk past, it's like either a mixed race couple or a gay couple or something like that. Everyone always has this kind of thing where they just look.
Yeah, there's an eyebrow
And
moment.
it's
Story of my life.
Story of my life. Okay, Carl. And you kind of like, I looked at this kind of thing and I was like, this doesn't make any sense anymore because we don't want to see color anymore. We can't see color anymore. We look at what's happening in the Black Lives Matter thing now globally and this huge trend. Even though I wrote the song years ago, it was something that was really close to my heart. It's like you got to see through that kind of stuff. So just to put in context, that's what the song that I'm going to perform for you guys now is about. And
Unbelievable. I'm so excited to hear it.
Cool.
I
Should I do it?
heard a bit of it in sound check, and it's super, super cool.
Thanks, dude. Check
Yeah,
it
man.
out.
So sorry about the technical difficulties. Please do stay online, stay tuned. It's live internet TV, so sometimes things do happen. But please help me welcome Nick Jordaan from Rubber Duck as he sings us one of his incredible songs. Enjoy.
Love's got me circled. There's nowhere to hide. I'd rather fight for the right to remind him all love is blind. All I see is beauty. All they do is stare. If our skin looked the same, they'd not ask what we're doing here. It's not the way they want it to be. Honey, I got you, you got me. Baby, we don't look the same. Maybe our hair curls in my hair is straight, and I will love you every day. There's no place that we should be hiding. This love's got people colliding. I know that this love is true. How about you? We walk on the beaches. There's no more divide. They can't stop what we've got. They can't take what we've multiplied. 'Cause I see him in you. They see her in me. They see them in both of us. We're one big family. We pick them up on our shoulders to teach. No matter the color, we've all got the same color teeth. You tell him, son, no, your beauty is deep. A mixture of color, the love for your brother, your sister, nationality. Baby, we don't look the same. Maybe your hair curls in my hair is straight. And I will love you every day, every day. And there's no place that we should be hiding. This love's got people colliding. I know that this love is true. I know that this love is true. I know that this love is true. How about you?
And we are back. Hopefully, we have managed to successfully fix the technical issues. Apologies for that. But please welcome back to the stage, Nick Jordaan. Nick, well done, bud.
Go grab. I've got you.
Yeah, grab a beer.
Great, thank you, thank you.
When in doubt.
Graham, would you like a beer?
I would
Would you
love
like
one,
a wine
please.
for
Nothing like a
you?
Wednesday night.
Still good.
You still good?
So,
Yes.
so I got a private message during that from Lee Hirsch, who. Hold on, let me just see what she says here, because
I'm so happy her name's
Well, she
Lindsay.
did comment
she
on
goes,
my watch party. She says
yes,
she loves you, but
I'm
going to
kill you.
Yeah.
My heart literally stopped.
Yeah.
And then she says, so when is he singing a song for me? And then that was for you, Lee. We know how much you love Rubber Duck. She's really one of your biggest fans. Not just because you look like you've been chiseled out of marble, but
Not anymore, man. Lockdown's been hardcore, bro.
a buff band at one point. Yeah, but she's a big, big fan, and she's giving you lots of love and lots of shout-outs, and you got lots of hearts there, I see. Yeah. So we were chatting earlier about, radio play and stuff like that. Have you managed to get much radio play?
Yes, we have. I'm not going to lie and say that we haven't. We have. I think strategies have just got to change.
Yeah.
I think, again, it's relationships you create with radio is a big thing. It's what you do for radio is a big thing. What you do and how you give back to radio stations is a big thing. Again, it's all about relationships at the same time. I think also what we
Do you think it's internal relationships as well with radio people? Like the station manager and stuff like that.
Sure.
I'm sure you have started developing those relationships, and you will start developing those relationships when because generally those relationships were exclusively between the plugger and the radio station manager or the playlisting manager. But now you as the artist are almost forced.
I think what happens also is that you got to I think it can affect plugging in a sense, but I don't think it's the be-all and end-all of getting your song onto radio. But I mean, last year we had a ridiculous amount of advertising for nothing because we were playing so many shows that was for a specific radio station, or that the specific radio station was the media sponsor of, that we were just like got advertising everywhere. We were always top of mind on radio.
Yeah,
because
you were. Like last year, I was like,
Yeah.
what? This band is
which was really, really cool. Again, when it comes to actual playing radio, I think the biggest mistake we made was trying to write for radio.
Yes.
And I think
that's the death of most.
Yeah, and we went through that
artists.
phase. We went through a phase where we tried to write for radio, and we tried to adapt a whole car lid type that was pop at the time kind of sound. And then you kind of go, how the hell do we adapt to that live? Because you just really can't.
Yeah.
So we've decided to pull back on that again and write what Rabbit used to write, how we used to feel. And yeah.
So, here is a question.
Yes.
I'll pose it to both of you. In fact, all three of you. Okay.
Let's have it.
Lockdown has forced most people to work from home.
Yeah.
We consume, I'd say 90% of our radio during the day to work and from work, right?
Yeah.
And then maybe in the background in the office. Okay. How much radio how much do you think radio has been affected by lockdown?
Big time.
Ooh, I didn't
Big
think
time.
about
Yeah.
that.
So how relevant do you think it is that we need to still be on radio? Because do you think radio is going to recover from that? It probably will when people
It
are
definitely
people going to go back to the office? How many people are going to go no? Like the big corporates, Investec, Discovery, and how much are they going to say? Well, we don't need to. We can work remotely now. It's going to
Yeah.
save us R1 billion or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to impact our industry yet again on another level.
I just think we also got, we third world country. I mean, everywhere overseas, you got digital radio in your car, so you can already be listening to whatever the hell you want to be listening to.
Exactly.
We get
Yeah.
fed a frequency. That's going to change, I think. I think what's going to happen now is, and you see a lot of stations in South Africa, they're starting to go digital because they have to. And I think this whole lockdown situation and people working from home is going to drive them to do it more than ever because of the people not listening to frequency radio anymore. And I think that's going to be a huge change. What it does for advertising, I don't know. I think
I think advertising is going to work on a platform like this, and I'm not just saying
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
but I think a platform like this is a real. It's a real thing. We're having a conversation.
Yeah.
It's not what's it described? Prescribed. Sorry, pre-prescribed. It's kind of like, I think a lot of advertising is going to move into this kind of internet-based
space.
space. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Am I right?
think
Am I
so.
wrong?
Yeah, a lot of things live online now, you know.
You're
So
you're of
it
a
makes
generation.
sense.
Do you consume 100% of your stuff online?
Majority, definitely. I mean, as I mentioned earlier, still radio-wise, me and my friends never really listen to the radio.
Ever?
I
Unless you're driving with mum to the shop.
no, I still, you
Not
know.
even Bluetooth.
Not even
playlist.
Bluetooth, even my mom, you know, Spotify,
Yeah.
Apple Music, whatever you're using. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. I think a big thing has become getting your song onto playlists and stuff like that
Yeah,
as well
it's
on
huge.
on you know those kinds of music platforms, and that's how you get all the streams and all of that. And I mean, I still hear what you mean in terms of making money from it in South Africa as an
South
artist,
Africa.
but in terms of you as an artist getting traction from everywhere, like playlisting has become a very big thing as well. So I think that's a big focus online.
But now it becomes here's when it gets even harder for anybody. I don't care if you're an established artist or not, to get the kind of traction that is required to make a success on a streaming platform.
You need a lot.
Bro, how many streams is it
And it's
per
also
album? It's
extremely-
1,000 streams per song, which classifies one download of that song.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, something ridiculous.
And then it's 100,000 streams to an album or something along those
it's something
lines.
ridiculous like that.
It's
But also,
ridiculous.
it's extremely geolocated.
Yeah.
Which is the hardest thing to break through as well. In South Africa, we are geolocated to a South African market, and to get your songs on playlisting, on certain playlists on Spotify or Apple Music overseas requires a record label.
yeah.
And in South Africa, we have this really strange relationship with the record labels because we are an independent band and we don't want to necessarily work with the record label because we don't see the value in it in South Africa.
Yeah.
We see the value in it overseas, internationally, but you need the local record label
Yeah.
to
Get
get to the
over.
international
Get
record
there.
label
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
be on those playlists overseas. So that it's become
Because so many record labels in SA are satellite stations to the bigger guys. They basically get fed what they
Exactly.
need to play in that respective
exactly, but
territory.
now we're
Yeah.
not making as much money on streams in South Africa, but record labels are now, because albums, CD sales are non-existent anymore, they now wanting to tap into your live fee.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
our
They're now
live
trying
fee
to
is
get-
our bread and butter.
That's your bread and butter, right? Yeah.
Don't touch our live fee.
Yeah.
And that's why you didn't sign a 360 deal.
And that's
because-
why we didn't sign a 360 deal.
Exactly.
And that's the scariest thing for a lot of artists that's happening now, are these 360 deals. But so there's, and everyone always goes, why don't you guys go overseas? Because it's freaking expensive to go overseas.
Right,
And
can we just
Yeah.
put that into perspective
Yeah.
right now? To travel with a band of 4 people, okay? Let's just say the band. Forget
Yeah.
about the road manager and or sound engineer, because you'll probably have to glue those 2 guys.
You probably
together.
you probably got to lost them.
Yeah, you probably
for
have to
the
lose
first
them.
tour,
Yeah. And half your
Yeah.
gear.
And half
And then
the
you
gear.
rent half the gear over there. So you've got to accommodate 4 people. You've got to feed 4 people
Yeah.
on a rand that does no one any favors
Yeah.
in Europe,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
does no one any favors in the States,
As
No.
well as sacrifice the money you're making at home.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Where you're
And any money that
established.
you
Where
make,
you're
And where you're
established.
being forgotten the longer you stay away.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
where you're getting forgotten, the more you play in a certain area.
Yes. Oh.
So we got this. I got this theory, which I'm sure you'll agree with, that we have 3 major cities in South Africa where music
Yeah.
exists. It's Cape
Yeah.
Town, Durban, and Joburg. Of which Durban not so much.
Yeah,
Cape
and so
Town,
like Joburg,
Cape
Pretoria,
Town,
one
Cape
sort
Town,
of-
cool vibe, no money. Joburg, money,
Yeah.
no venues. Okay, and then you play 3 shows in Joburg in the space of a week. Your fan base saw you last week.
They're tired.
They're tired. They're not going to come watch you again.
Yeah.
We can't tour or travel enough to get a real big loyal following.
Exactly.
And we're overseas, you can travel between cities, between states in America, and get back to the next state within a year. And the next time that people sees you
I know.
is
It's
the
a
next year.
Wow.
I know.
Crazy.
So that's what's scary for me. And then people say, why didn't you go overseas? Is because how?
The
How?
rand, hey?
How?
That rand.
The rand.
The
dollars.
rand.
Scary.
I see a familiar face to you certainly all over the comments on the Rubber Duck stream there. Sheldon Sham throwing all of the comments there.
So, how you, my bro? Oh, lekker. Yeah, Shal, we miss you, brother. Shal was our old saxophonist. He's
remember
also locked down right now, I guess.
Where are you locked down in? Where is
We're
he locked down?
In the east.
In the
Yeah,
east.
he's one of them beasts from the east. The first
the
time I
east.
met Sheldon actually was at a mutual friend's 30th. Wow, it feels
Hold on.
because now
Can
we're
we
30
rewind?
now.
We're 30, yeah.
We're 30
No.
now. So it's actually it's Brendan, the guitarist in Rubber Duck.
Yes.
His brother-in-law now.
Yeah.
Since Gavin and Gavin got married, so it was Gavin's 30th, and I don't know. You guys became a band, I think, that year, and Gavin.
It was that year, yeah.
Gavin asked me, "Hey man, I'm having this party. It's at a mate's like, it's got this barn sort of set up. Do you want to come and play a few songs? It's gonna be a draw. We'll have free beer." I don't know. He asked the same thing of Nick and Brendan and Sheldon, who I met that night, because before I knew Rubber Duck to be just you and Brendan.
Yeah. Well,
And
we
we
only
also-
played one show together as me and Brendan.
Oh wow!
Only
And it was
one,
like
and
it was
then
fresh
Sheldon
off
joined,
that
and
year.
Sheldon joined from gig number 2, yeah.
Yeah, we ended up gigging together at a party that we were just invited to,
Yeah, it was
and
cool,
it was a
So
great
cool.
draw. That
You
was
all
the first
start
time
out
we-
somewhere.
Oh, it's great. I love those stories. I love those stories. But that's
Yeah.
That's what. Do you have any aspirations of playing with a band, or are you sticking to the solo thing?
Oh, well, I actually.
It's more
like,
fun with friends. I just want to hashtag that now.
It's fun with a band. It's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
like I've only maybe performed once or twice with a band, and when I say band, it was just basically drums and bass, and then I was playing either keys or guitar.
Is it
And
intimidating?
I'm not a guitarist, not a piano player, but you gotta kind of do it, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so even just having that chart was on the bass,
Oof,
and
you couldn't
Matt
have a
was
better
on
person
drums.
on the bass. Oh,
Yeah.
wow!
Yeah.
You got half of GWP there.
And I know, lucky me. And it's next level. It's so different compared to just doing it on your. And it's just I don't know. It's like
Different
sounds
energy,
so
eh?
cheesy, but the music comes to life in a sense. And
Yeah.
it's I guess I'd love playing with a band.
Yeah, even
Yeah.
me.
But you know what's crazy though, hey? Like this is something I think for everyone listening and watching and all of us here, just you guys doing what you're doing right now, is the greatest thing, and the lesson that we can learn from COVID-19 is we should have all skilled up a long time ago.
Right?
Yeah.
And what's happening is now in any business, what I'm noticing is that everyone's now taking everything in-house. So why pay someone else that you outsource when you could do it yourself? And I've learned that myself. We filmed a music video in lockdown. I've never done that in my life. I cut together a music video for the first time. I've never done that in my life. We worked remotely for the first time. We've never done. but it's possible.
Yeah.
And I think like what you guys are doing with this show is something you never thought you'd be doing.
Never.
Indeed.
Really. No way.
But it's
The first thought was a week before the first show. That was the first time this was conceptualized, and we just banged it together.
But look what you're doing.
That's
And I think
awesome, yeah.
in music, the exact same thing, which I regret, if I could go back, you're still young, is no, seriously, I'll tell you, is learning, is skilling up as much as you can, is going to guitar lessons, which I never did, and skilling that skill so that you can hold your own.
Completely. I think becoming a
that's like
session
my-
muso as well.
Yeah, become your
Yeah.
own session muso. Learn how to
Do everything.
Be the
Jack of
first
all trades,
female
yeah.
loop artist. I mean, if you
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
Ed Sheeran perform, it was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
That oak is
Yeah.
playing by himself on stage, no track, everything's looped.
And earning every single ticket sale there.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
earning
yeah,
every ticket
yeah,
sale.
yeah.
He's just, and he doesn't drive. Do you know that he bought off the topic very quickly? We have to end quite soon. He bought his sound engineer a Porsche because that was his dream car. And he just one day dropped him. He's like, he can't drive. He's like, hey mate, can you come fetch me? And he's like, how's it? And he's like, yeah, just pull
Yeah.
in here. And yeah, gave him a Porsche. I think that's
Yeah.
so cool. Ed,
Wow.
hook a brother up.
Yeah.
You know what? It's just so incredibly nice to have people like you. You really have been a true asset to the show. Thanks, Nick. You've been a trooper. A piece from the east. I wanted to address that as well. What is a piece from the east, bro?
Beast, you know them butts from the East Rand, dude. You know.
Do you know, you're up on funny. Quick, you're up on funny. Remember that boot fighter thing that came out?
Yes,
Yeah,
put
yeah.
Archer,
But it's
dude.
so wrong. It's like the oak's accent says like from 4 ways, bro. I'm like, what oak in 4 ways
Eden
speaks
Vale.
like that?
No
It's
one
like,
did.
Fail.
You know, Kuni McGregor, boy. Anyway,
Well, thanks so much for joining us. I wish you an incredibly long and illustrious career.
Thank you.
I-
Thank you
I-
for having me. It's been awesome.
you got time to practice now.
What a
I
pleasure
know
you are.
that's the goal. You know.
Use lockdown. Use
Yeah,
lockdown.
let's all do
Use
it. Let's
lockdown.
all do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
We say that and we're like, we're going to go home now. We're like, let's put it
Yeah.
on next Friday.
We're
me
big
too.
talk for guys that were really struggling on Rocksmith earlier trying to
Yeah.
play.
Look, guys, if I can tell you, can I say
Yeah,
one last thing?
yeah.
One last
Yeah,
thing.
go,
One
dog,
last
go.
little
This-
tiny
we're
bit of
not
advice.
timed at all.
One last tiny little bit of advice. In any industry right now is the time to be doing everything for nothing. And I say this because no one's making anything. So right now everything is about collaboration. We're going to come out of this stronger and further along in all of our careers by getting off your ass and collaborating right now and networking more than you ever can and doing things for prices that you never thought you would do them for. And now is the perfect time to come out better in the future, further ahead than you've ever been before, but just don't sit on your ass.
And more
Get up
connected.
and network and more connected. Now is the
For
perfect
sure.
time.
Definitely.
And on that bombshell,
Cool.
we're going to end the show. Just thank you so much to you guys. Inspirational words from an inspirational
Thank
guy,
you.
one of my favorite people in the music industry. To you, it's always been a pleasure. And I'm very, very excited for you. I think you've got a very nice long road ahead of you.
Thank you.
Just be fearless. And more importantly, don't be cuck. Okay.
Yeah, never.
Be lekker.
So we've got a little way of ending the show. I'm going to start it off. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
And please, don't be cuck.
Don't be cock.